Good morning. It's Monday morning, and I am here from my home office, um, which I'm told looks somewhat like a confessional, thanks to my lovely screens. Thank you, bestie. um, I want to talk this morning briefly about tribes, and there's actually good reason for that. And I just realized I don't have my light on, and it's probably hindering you guys. Hey, you can see me now. All right. So, tribes are really important, and it's something that I talk a lot about in regards to writing and also in regards to SCA and Ren fairs and paganism and Christianity and religion in general and just all the aspects of our lives. Tribe is something that is vitally important to humans. It has been for as long as we've roamed the earth. We form tribes. In this world, we form tribes. We've always done that. We always will. And it's a vital part of our expression of humanity. The kind of tribe that we belong to, whether it's a family tribe or a chosen tribe or a Ren Fair tribe or whatever, reflect in our everyday lives, even in the parts that don't touch the tribe directly, like our jobs, for instance. So when I talk about tribe historically, um, tribes were when people banded together to create a sustainable living situation. So they banded together for protection, for warmth, for shelter because the shelter was limited, because that's where the food was. All of these things sort of became ingrained into our psyche. As we began to form cities, you ended up with sectors in cities, especially when you look at the early part of America, and to a lesser extent up in Canada. When people immigrated here from other countries, they found people who were already here who understood how life worked in this new place and learned from them. And in that, their tribe was formed. So that tribalism or clan grouping or whatever name you want to call it by is really important. It's how we navigate difficult things. So if you're coming up on a big exam, okay, your tribe is going to help you study or relax or whatever it is that you need in order to succeed at that exam. If you're about to go in and do a big presentation for work, or you're working on a new engineering design, or whatever it is that you do, your tribe supports you as you do that. And we don't just belong to one tribe. So I have a family tribe, I have a pagan tribe, I have a Reni tribe, and I have my SCA tribe. And there's a lot of crossover between those, but it's not exactly the same at each. Hey, coffee. I have a coffee tribe too, just saying. So when um, we form our tribes, we start to solidify our personality. So very early on in my life, I decided that I didn't want to be part of the norm tribe. I'm not normal. I will never be normal. I'm just not that type of gal. I've always been strange. I've always been different. I've always been off the wall. My relationships aren't like other people's relationships. My view of divinity is different from other people's views. I've never thought the way other people think. I suppose in that way I was very predisposed to writing, if you will, because I find a lot of writers, especially writers of fiction, we don't think like other people. um, so tribalism is what helps us get through the rough days. And I think in a very real way, that's something that's missing in today's world. We don't put the emphasis onto tribalism today that maybe we should, because those tribes are really important. And when people don't have tribes, they make tribes. And if you don't believe me, I challenge you to go look at any gang in an inner city. Why would anybody join a gang? What are they providing? It's just danger, right? Well, obviously not, because if that's all they were providing, nobody would be joining. They're providing a clan, they're providing a family, they're providing a tribe. If we have positive tribes to join, we will, because you go where you have the greatest benefit to your soul and to your psyche. If it's there, people will join it. People would much prefer to join something that is supportive of all of their parts than just some of their parts. If the only tribe you have access to only celebrates part of you, you make do. That's what you do. That's what we do as humans. We adapt. One of the greatest joys in my life are my SCA tribe. And again, they cross over into all the other tribes I belong to. You'll see the same group of people sitting with me no matter where we go, pretty much. You'll probably meet them at the book signing on June 1st if you come. So come meet my tribe. I would love to introduce you to them because they support me. If it were not for my tribe, I could not write. And I can't stress that enough. So that tribe I met through spiritual stuff, but has come to be kind of my writing support. And SCA is kind of where we landed and where we cemented things. So we play Vikings and we play 14th century ladies, depending on where we're at. And I want to talk about writers and tribe specifically. So the SCA, one of the founders of the Society for Creative Anachronism, which you can find online at sca.org, is Diana Paxson. Diana Paxson is known in the SCA as Diana the List Maker. She still attends Penzic and her local events. I believe she's still in Michigan, but I'm not sure. She might be in California at this point. I have not checked up on her rate lately, but I do know that she goes on a regular basis to Penzic. She wrote some of the Mist of Avalon stories. She wrote the Mistress of the Jewels stories. She wrote the Book of the Sword, the Spear, the Cauldron, and the Stone. She wrote Master of Earth and Water. She wrote a bunch of pagan books, sword and sorcery stuff. She's quite the writer. And in the SCA, she's, let me look at her crown. I believe I see pearls. That means she's a baron or a baroness. She is one of the people who started the SCA 50 years ago, over 54 years ago now. She created tribe. There wasn't a tribe she liked, okay? There were tribes that almost fit but didn't quite. And then she got together with a group of people and started dressing up in medieval clothes and wearing crowns and hitting each other with sticks and making scrolls and embroidering and sewing clothes and all sorts of other things. And that bloomed into the phenomenal society that we have worldwide today. That writer made tribe to help her writing, and her writing helped the tribe. This is what happens. It's a feedback loop. So how do you find tribe? Well, you can do what I do, which is go to SCA events and go to Ren fairs. And if you go to Ren fairs, go to the New Hampshire Ren Fair, which is next weekend and the weekend after. Whole weekend, I will be there. You'll see me. I'll have a bell. I'll be going, bring out your dad, doing the garbage and stuff. We have a phenomenal thing, and it's great. They give money to charity, $65,000 to the New Hampshire Food Bank. Just let that sink in, people. Okay? This is tribe in action. These people, the people that I spend time with, put their money where their mouth is, and I absolutely adore that about them. If you want to see that tribe, come on out. We're there. We want to see you. But the other tribe that I belong to, which I've worked at belonging to, and it's new to me, is the Monadnock Writers Group. So As you know, I'm based out of the Jaffrey Ridge area in New Hampshire. It's a wonderful corner of New England, and I adore it here. This is the first place in my entire life that I have ever looked around and went, wow, this is home. I've never felt this way about any place else in the world. So I knew I was in the right place when I got here, the minute I got here. Now I'm reaching out and I'm making roots, and I love it. My best friend lives here. I have my coven that I worship with. I have spiritual communities that I belong to. I have wedding couples that I work with and people that I help out with funerals and baby blessings. These are all fantastic things, and this is where my tribe lives, and this is where my creative side is nurtured. The Monadnock Writers Group has been around since, let me take a look here, since 1984. Good year for writers, by the way, of course. The Monadnock Writers Group is awesome. They support writers in the area. They have anthology they do every year. They have monthly get-togethers where we socialize and pretend we have social lives, which actually is today at Brady's Restaurant and Pub in Peterborough from 7 to 9. And I will be there. So if you want to meet some local authors or you yourself are an author, come on down. We're going to sit, have a cup of tea, maybe eat some dessert, maybe sit and eat some fries and just sit back and relax. And we socialize and we talk about the project. It's not a work day, it's a relaxing day. They just put out something called the Mud Chronicles, which is a New England anthology. It's our 5th season highlight in the anthology. It's absolutely fantastic. We have guest speakers on a regular basis. We have meetings. We have read alouds. We have we host a 3-minute fiction slam. We just had the 6-word story project. Just so much going on. And these are all people who just write in my area. We get a chance every year to go to the MacDowell Colony, which is an artist's colony where people go and spend time with their art, whether that art is painting, writing, sculpting, working with clay. I mean, whatever it is that you do, you can apply for a grant, you go there and you stay there, and it's incredibly peaceful and beautiful and quiet. When we were there for our latest meeting, when I came out of the building, there was a herd of deer at the end of the field, and it was incredibly peaceful. I can certainly understand how that would encourage one to write. This particular part of my tribe, the Monadnock Writers Group, they hold me accountable. Not that they would, slap me on the wrist if I didn't get things done, but they encourage me in ways that my Rennie friends and my SCA friends might not be able to, because they themselves are writers. And so when I talk about, well, I don't know what to do, my characters rebelled and wouldn't do what I told them to do. Now what do I do? My story is stuck. They understand. My friends all look at me and go, Allison, you're the writer. Just write what you want the characters to do. Sorry, guys, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. We don't get to tell our characters what to do. We give them general plot lines and world to live in, and really after that we lose all control. They do what they want to. We can only herd in a general direction. After that, they're on their own. That's why it's hard to let go of them when it comes time to publish, by the way. So having a writing group that you either write with or that you share your stuff with online or that you meet on Skype or on Hangouts, people that you talk to who are also writers, it really gives you something to hold on to when you have a rough moment. Because if you go to a normal person and you ask them for help because you're stuck, they will try their absolute best to help. but they just don't understand. When you go to another writer, they commiserate with you. They know exactly what to bring you or what to say because they've been there. We have all been there. Oh, Lordy. So find a writers group in your area. I guarantee there's one within 40 miles of where you live, probably a lot closer. If you drive, you're golden. If you're in an inner city, I guarantee you're golden. You'll have public transport, and there's probably 8 writing groups. I know there's dozens in the New York city area, for instance. Detroit has writers groups. Any place where there's a college, you're going to find writers groups, and they'll be supportive. And they also will be good critique givers. For those of us who write, handing a manuscript off to somebody to read for the first time is harrowing and terrifying. And when we get it back and the comment is, "Wow, that was really cool. Awesome. I love you." Okay, my ego feels better, but my inner writer is sobbing because I need to see the red pen on that paper. I need you to find the mistakes I made. I need commentary on this didn't sound right, or this flowed wrong, or why didn't I learn more about this character, or you should expand on this. There's so many things that I need somebody else to say. And so I try very hard to pick test readers who are also writers or who are avid readers because y'all who do that are not afraid to take a red pen to my paper. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know I'm running past my 15 minutes here, so I'm going to just shut down. Remember, June 1st, Toadstool Book in Peterborough from 2 p.m. I am doing a book signing. So you can come, you can buy a book, you can get a bookmark, you can shake my hand, ask questions. I'm going to tell a little bit of the story of how the first book, Bloodstone, came to be, and talk a little bit about the second book because it's almost ready to go to the editor. Yay! Another little piece of news before I sign off for the day is that Bloodstone this week will be getting its new cover. So if you are purchasing and you want the old cover, you need to buy like in the next day or two because I'm going to be working on that today and tomorrow. And then the old cover will be a collector's item and you can all trade for it on eBay or whatever it is. But the new cover will be going up. I have the new cover posted on my blog and I have the new cover posted on my Facebook page. So go and have a look at those. I would love for you to give me feedback on that. My new artist is Starla Hutchison, and Starla by Design is an absolute doll. Oh my Lord, she just nailed it. She nailed the first book, and she's working on the second book cover right now. Everything is fantastic and coming up roses. Yay! So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. My books are available at Gibson's in Concord. They're available at Escape Hatch Books in Jaffrey, which is right across from the TD Bank. Yes, we are small enough that we only have one of those. My books are available at Toadstool in Peterborough and at the Bookseller in Nashua. So if you want to have a hard copy and you want to buy it elsewhere, feel free. Feel free to come to Toadstool on June 1st at 2:00, and I will be happy to not only sell you a book, but I will also sign the book. So I love you guys. It was good to see you, and I will see you next Monday, most likely. You have yourselves a great week, and go out and be excellent to each other.